You're not being ignored because you're boring. You're being ignored because you're trying to be impressive. And the harder you try, the less people feel anything. Let that sink in. How many times have you walked into a room, said all the right things, tried to be confident, tried to stand out, and still felt invisible? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Attraction doesn't respond to effort. It responds to energy. And right now, your energy is telling people something you don't even realize. So in this video, you're going to discover 6 internal shifts, not tricks, not pickup lines, not fake confidence, but subtle behaviors that make people feel your presence before you even speak. And one of these might change how people see you almost instantly. Habit 1. Stop waiting your turn. Let me show you something most people never notice. You're in a conversation, they're talking, you're nodding, but inside, you're not listening. You're preparing your next sentence, your next joke, your next impressive point. And the other person feels it, not consciously, but emotionally. Because most people don't listen, they reload. And when someone feels that, they slowly shut down. Now here's where it gets interesting. Every once in a while, you meet someone different. They don't interrupt. They don't rush the silence. They look at you like your words actually matter. And suddenly, you start talking more than you planned. Why? Because you feel seen. And that feeling is rare. And rarity creates attraction. Next time you're talking to someone, don't try to say something smart. Try to understand something real. Ask yourself, what are they feeling that they're not saying? Then reflect it back. Not perfectly, just honestly. And watch what happens. People lean in. Because the moment someone feels understood, they stop looking for someone better. But there's a catch. You can't listen like this if your mind is chaotic. Which brings us to the real problem. Habit 2. Your mind is too loud. Let's be honest. Most of your unattractive behavior isn't intentional. It's reactive. Someone doesn't reply, you overthink. Someone pulls back, you chase. Something feels off, you try to fix it immediately. Not because you're weak, but because you're uncomfortable with uncertainty. And people can feel that tension. It's subtle, but it's heavy. Now compare that to someone else. Same situation, same uncertainty, but they pause. They don't rush. They don't try to control the moment. There's space between what happens and how they respond. That space, that's power. Emotional control is not about being calm. It's about not needing the moment to go your way. Next time something triggers you, don't act, delay, just 10 seconds. Then ask yourself, am I reacting or choosing? That one question might feel small, but it quietly changes everything. But calm alone is not enough, because if you stay silent all the time, you disappear. And that's where most people get it wrong. Habit 3. Say less, mean more. You've felt this before. You say something and nobody reacts, so you keep talking, explaining, adding more, trying to save it, but every extra word lowers your impact because value is compressed, not expanded. Now watch someone with presence. They speak less, pause more, and when they do speak, people listen. Not because they're louder, but because they're selective. Before you speak, pause for half a second. Then ask yourself, does this add or dilute? If it dilutes, cut it. People don't respect those who talk well. They respect those who don't need to talk much. But here's where it gets uncomfortable, because sometimes what needs to be said is not easy. And this is where most people lose all attraction. Habit 4, stop avoiding discomfort. You don't lose attraction when you fail. You lose it when you avoid. Avoid saying what you really think. Avoid taking the risk. Avoid standing your ground. And each time you do, you quietly train yourself to shrink. A little smaller, a little safer, a little less you. Now imagine the opposite. Same fear, same discomfort, but instead of backing off, you lean in. Just slightly. You say the thing. You take the step. You hold your ground without aggression, without proving, just steady. That's rare, and rare is always attractive. Confidence is not built by success. It's built by not abandoning yourself under pressure. Next time you hesitate, don't overthink. Don't wait for certainty. Do the smallest uncomfortable action possible. Not perfect, just forward, just honest. But courage alone can turn into something dangerous. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll still feel empty. And people can feel that too. Habit 5, stop needing to be liked. This one is going to sting. A lot of what you call being nice is actually fear. Fear of rejection, fear of tension, fear of losing approval. So you say yes when you mean no. You agree when you don't. You laugh when you feel disrespected. And slowly, almost invisibly, you disappear. Not from others, from yourself. The more you need to be liked, the less people respect you. Because people don't trust what keeps changing. And approval seeking is constant adjustment, constant editing, constant shrinking. So start small, not dramatic, not confrontational, just honest. I don't agree. I'm not into that. I'd rather not. No explanation, no apology, just clarity. Some people will pull away. Let them. Because attraction is not about being accepted by everyone. It's about being real enough that the right people stay. But there's one last trap, one most people never notice, that silently destroys everything. Habit 6, perfection is killing your presence. You think you need to get it right, say the right thing, act the right way, be the right version of yourself. So you hesitate, you overthink, replay the moment, delay the action, and while you're trying to be perfect, you slowly become unnatural, rigid, careful, hard to connect with, because perfection has no life in it, no warmth, no movement. People are not attracted to perfection. They're attracted to evolution. Someone who tries, adjusts, learns, improves. That's human. And humans connect to humans, not to polished performances. So after any interaction, don't ask yourself, was I good? Ask instead, did I grow? That question quietly frees you, instantly, because the moment you stop trying to be flawless, you start becoming real. And real is what people feel. If you step back, you'll start to see the pattern. Attraction was never about doing more. It was about removing what's fake. The over-talking, the overreacting, the over-pleasing, the overthinking. Strip that away and something shifts. Quietly, naturally, you stop chasing attention, and attention starts coming to you. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to be sharper. You don't need to be better than everyone else. You just need to be someone who is not trying to be someone else. So don't just watch this and move on. Pause, just for a moment, and decide, quietly, I stopped performing. Let that be enough. If that landed, you can leave a simple comment. No more performing. Not for me, for you. Because the moment you stop trying to be attractive is the moment you finally become it. And this time, it's real.